A very good afternoon for each of the participants. So I could see we have two participants currently named as Gautami and Siddesh. So moving ahead for our webinar, let me first introduce myself. Myself is Ashwini Chinsole. I'm associated with Ultramax since 2008 and I'm working with them as a senior most SAS consultant cum trainer. So I do have nearly 10 plus years of experience into training field with corporate as well as public trainings. I've also worked into data analytics with IBM, Concentrix Daksh, and this was in since 2013 2018. But because being a passionate trainer, I moved back into training and I'm associated with SAS India. And since 2017-18 onwards, I'm a freelancing trainer. So basically, I am from a life sciences background. I've done my master's in microbiology. I've done my PG in clinical research, but I had an inclination towards an IT sector. So when I was doing clinical research, this is where SAS I got infatuated with. And since then, I looked up my career into SAS, and here I am as a SAS faculty or a facilitator, or you can call me as a trainer, or as a mentor, or as a consultant, any which one. Okay, so this was all in just a brief of myself. So can I have a brief introduction of the participants also? So you need to tell me your name, your qualification, from where you are, and how are you looking ahead your SAS as a career option. All right. So let's start alphabetically. So we have Gautami first. Yes, Gautami, can you please unmute and speak, please?
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Gautami Ambeskar. I have done my master's in microbiology. Uh, I have passed out in 2018. After that, I was working in a public testing laboratory in quality control department. Right now, I want to change my career field to IT. That's why I'm looking for opportunities by understanding SAS and how it can be used along with my knowledge in microbiology.
Oh, great. So most of the career path which you have said is somewhat similar to me. I'm so
Yes.
happy. I'm so happy to have someone walking on the same career path which I had, because you worked in lab, and I truly speaking, I did my diploma in medical lab technologies, and I was working in laboratories also. So I could it helped me to recollect those days. Thanks again, Gautami.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes, so next participant we have is Siddesh. Yes, Siddesh.
Yeah, hi ma'am. Good afternoon. So I'm Siddesh Adivrekar. So actually, I am a friend of Gautami. So actually, I have suggested her to go for the SAS. Like I have given her an idea about the SAS and everything, because my brother is working as a SAS developer right now. So I got to know about SAS and the Ultramax also. So I am
Okay.
here to just give her company and got to know about SAS more. I'm
Okay.
working as a full stack developer right now. So actually, I'm not looking forward to the SAS course, but yeah,
Yes.
I'm here to give her company and learn something new about
Sure.
this.
Sure. I'll be happy to give you something new to hear for you.
Yeah,
Of
actually,
course,
I'm
it's
looking for the analytics also, but right now
Mhm.
I'm not looking for the course to be very frank. But yeah,
No
I'm
problem.
open to that.
No problem. You're almost welcome. And see, it's just a knowledge being shared. So
Yeah.
anyone can take the advantage of you listening, and you can pass on this to others, right? So
Yes.
no problem. Thank you for your brief introduction, both of you, and really very nice to meet you all online. So before moving ahead, we are representing ourselves, Shabda and myself, from Ultramax Infonet Technologies. So Ultramax Infonet Technologies is into IT training, staffing, consulting, and outsourcing. So today we are focusing on SAS, which is Statistical Analytics System. All right. So we are here to know something about SAS. So about Ultramax, we are into the market since 1999, and our prime focus is education, education, and education. So we are into training since 1999, as and though when we started gradually moving ahead, we moved into consultancy also. So we were into training on to various IT courses, but now we are streamlined it into SAS, and we had also streamlined the topics into analytics like SAS, Python, R, clinical SAS, clinical data management, soft skill developments, scientific writing, 3D printing, and of course, Red Hat. All right. So we actually focus training for upcoming aspirants as well as corporates, career seekers into the various fields related to all these topics. Moving ahead, introduction again for ourselves. We also are, as I very rightly said in the very first slide, that we are into technical and staffing consulting. So we have lots, or we have nearly our 10,000 plus candidates who are working into various IT sectors, into one of the leading giants like Infosys, TCS, Wipro. Okay, then we also have CROs, pharma companies, banking sectors where we have our candidates been working. All right. So we also provide consultancies into various industries, like we are currently providing the consultancy into DES, which is one of the Department of Statistics in Mantralaya. We also are into ICICI Bank as a consultant. We also in Red Hat, and of course, currently it's with RBI, with one of its IT department in Mumbai. Okay, so we are very strongly standing on our alma mater that grow your skills and define your future. Fine. So this is just a brief introduction to Ultramax. So let's move focus on what SAS is and how it is going to help you to build up your career. Now, in the very first slide, I have just given you just that what SAS stands for. It is Statistical Analytics System. So when we say it's a system, it's comprised of various tools and softwares. Okay, so it's not into only one software. There is various tools and softwares, and therefore it's called as a system. So if you must be aware of Microsoft Office, it's a system, it's not a software. Within Microsoft Office we have various softwares, and every software is doing various tasks, like Excel is a software, MS Office is a software, PPT is a software, Access is a software. Same thing, SAS has various softwares which performs data analytics tasks. One of them is called SAS Programming. Okay, but to moving ahead as your career into SAS, let's understand how one can look into the market when you're thinking of SAS. Yes, but it is one of your lucrative careers of as a SAS specialist. So top 10 demanding careers to excel in today's job market are enterprise IT architecture, cloud storage and distribution, big data, mobile application development, project management, and few more. But yes, most outstanding and most niche area, but of course the demand is good, is SS. So SAS specialists are no way lesser than any of these highly demanding jobs. Okay, so even if you are from an IT background with a development skills, or with the programming skills, or with the data visualizing skills, with other tools, or even person from a life sciences can have a career into SAS. All right. Yes. So career path as a SAS programmer. Yes, why I'm telling it's a programmer? Because to start your career into SAS, you have to learn the programming part of SAS. And it's not too difficult. Okay. And there is no prerequisite that a person should know the programming languages like C, C plus Java. No, it's not required. All right. So it's a fourth generation language. As you speak, you can type the code. So it's so simple. So as a SAS programmer, because we are going to start a career as a SAS data analyst or a SAS programmer, we have plenty of opportunities to be availed in this sectors, banking sector, financial sectors. Of course, I will always say that banking and financial sector is the same sector, insurance sectors, pharmaceutical sectors, and of course, industries which are involved into research and development. So these are some of the examples I've just given you for banking and financial sectors. We do have some Indian banks, like of course we have RBI, who is already, as I said, who is one of the customers of SAS, right? So that is the Indian bank. Revenue holding most of the governed rules of banking sectors come from RBI. We do have Axis, HDFC, ICICI Bank, Standard Charters, IDBI, one of the customers of SAS. Okay. Then, of course, JP Morgan and Franklin Templeton are all the financial organizations. Insurance sectors, yes, currently this Cigna and Highmark. Now, Cigna is, of course, and US based, and Highmark is also US based. But yes, Cigna does have some market in India also. I've given some examples, okay? Pharmaceutical industries, yes, most of the giants like Glenmark, Pfizer, okay, Johnson and Johnson, Merck, Aventis, Sanofi. Now, Sanofi and Aventis have been separated, but earlier it was Sanofi Aventis as a one. Novartis is one of its customer. Okay, and research and development when it comes, so there are universities who have statistical departments who are implementing SAS coding and programming in statistics for their statistical students, and they are having some projects on SAS. It's not only in Indian universities but also in abroad also. All right, yes, so we do have good opportunities to work as a SAS programmer, or you can be a report writer, or you can be a data integration developer, or you could be a clinical science developer, statistician, or biostatistician, or in market research. And who can do this? All the graduates and postgraduates from life sciences, economics, maths, statistics, computer science background, actuarial science background, MBAs can also have a very good career into this sector. Okay. So when I say it's all about SAS and programming, so this is just, I would like to give you in brief that this is how the program looks like. And this is the screenshot of it. Okay. Now this is a very simple program where I'm looking for the frequency or the number of counts of types of cars from my data. Okay, so this is simple code where I have generated a frequency. Now, because it's a frequency of count, that is, frequency means how many times that particular value has appeared into your data. Hence, it's called as a count. So it's come 3 times, this has come 60 times. Now we know it's a frequency count. Normally we call it as frequency. Hence, you have a ready procedure in SAS. Simply write it's a procedure. Proc is a step in SAS called as a procedure of frequency on your data to be conducted, and the data set name is a cars, which is saved in a particular folder named as SAS help, and I'm simply analyzing its type against its origin to generate this. Okay, so this is what I get the report. So it's very simple to present and simple to interpret and simple to write. So being a life sciences person, do you think it's anything difficult to understand this code? No. As I said, I want to generate a frequency. I've written it. It's a proc frequency. Okay. Again, this is, I just wanted to give you a gist that in the programming of SAS, one can have an interference of SQL language also. So SAS has that good way of writing an SQL coding into its environment, and the same report is being generated in SQL. See, this is in proc freq, and this is in SQL. I'm generating a count on my type where I have the count of my columns. All right, so this was simple coding examples I wanted to show you. Same way, one can also generate the reports on my graphical presentation. So this is a horizontal bar, this is the vertical bar. It's the same data, but I have represented in the graphical presentation. So as per your tabular presentation, we know sedan is the car which is having the highest frequency count in my data. If I check the same thing in my horizontal or vertical bar chart, I find sedan is the same with the frequency count of 262 is having the highest count in my data. All good? Understanding? Gautami, I hope it's pretty
Yes, yes,
understandable,
yes,
correct? So it
yes.
is so simple. So if this is the coding, okay, so let me show you online programming concept of it. So this is the online software, which is a cloud application from SAS, which is available to be used by any users throughout the globe. Okay, you need to simply create your profile with SAS, and then you are free to access this programming coding environment of SAS, which is termed as SAS Studio. Okay, so it is SAS on demand for academics. So I've already have my profile, so I'm just signing in. So I have my profile, so it's accepting, and I sign in. So this is how my SAS cloud application. So it's telling code with SAS Studio. I'm launching it. It also has an interface that if you have a Python program, you can run that program into SAS environment as well. So it's a cloud application. Cloud means it is an online application. It is directly learning when run under SAS. Okay, so it does not require your any physical requirement of a software to be installed on your system, and no prerequisite of your system requirement also. Simply you can use this software online via Google Chrome. Okay, all right, so it takes a bit of time to get initialized, to get connected. So SAS has two arms. One is the programming arm and one is the non-programming arm. But to begin your career, we mostly prefer to start with the programming arm. And programming in SAS is very simple. It is not at all difficult like your other programming languages. Now, there are on your counterpart some other participants who are from programming environment, who are actually working into. Now we already have Siddesh who is accompanying with you, correct? So Siddesh is into development and he's using maybe Java developing or full stack developing. So that is altogether a different language, but we are not into those types of development. Okay, so we are people who will be using already existing, pre-existing some coding requirements is needed. That is what will be training on you, and it is a simple coding. So if you see here, we have three windows coming up. It's a code window, log window, result window. So to start with a new programming window, I'm just going to opt like this. So if you wanted to see our data, so we have certain data files which are pre-available for us. So here we have some information. So let's see the same data. Suppose we are working on cars. Okay, so it's an existing data file. So if you see, this opens same as your Excel with table, columns and rows. So if you see at the left hand side, it's telling these are the columns. Here it's telling there are how many rows, how many columns. So if you check this arm or this part, it's telling it's a character type of column. This part it's telling it's numeric type of column. Okay. So if you don't want to see it in more detail, you can just pop this out and you find this is the table. Fine. So if I write a program that I want to know that what is the mean value of my sale of or my maximum uh, sale price for a specific car. So for example, I have this MSRP. Okay. So what is the mean car MSRP value? Mean is statistical term, MEAN. In short, average. Okay. So to have a mean value in SAS, we have a ready to use procedure called as proc means. Proc means I need to tell SAS which data I'm going to use with. So it is called as SAS help dot it's my cars data set. I would simply tell my analysis variable is I need to tell a variable name. Variable means it's a column in SAS. My variable name is MSRP. This is the column which is in my data. Okay, fine. And I simply ask SAS to process this. So this is when it processes, it directly opens up into a result window. And what does this log window shows me? It shows me that how this code has been processed. So this is where very simple, it's interactive windowing environment. In short, we call it interactive windowing environment means every window is interacting with each other. So we have a code window. When I write a code, I submit for processing. A log is generated which tells how this code has executed, whether it is executed successfully without any errors. So there is no errors. So it is successfully executed. And of course, an output window or a result window. So if you observe this carefully, you find this is the mean. It's a statistical term. Mathematically, the mean is called as average. So this is the mean MSRP for my data. And these are my default statistics telling what is the minimum value of my car MSRP and the maximum value of car in my data and the standard deviation. But if I don't want all this to be seen, okay, what I can do is I simply use certain options in it here. I want to see only me. Fine. So I use this option and I execute. I get the mean value only. But I don't want this decimals, which is by default numeric value. So I can opt this option telling max decimal value should be 0. So when I submit this, you'll see I get this round figure. But I want to see what is the mean value within every type of cars. So I have types of cars. Okay. And of course, I do have their engine size, the number of cylinders, horsepower, mileage in city, highway, wheel balancing, length, weight. So let's check for within types of cars. So how can I ask SAS to work on this? There is a option or a statement called class, which will classify or group my report on my character or your numeric column. So when I write class, my same data gets classified. So within hybrid, the mean of my MSRP, that means the average MSRP value is this. For SUV, the average MSRP is this. So within the mean values of my car, there are 3 cars which are hybrid. So within this, there are 60 cars of SUV which has mean values like this. So this is how my report is represented. All good? Simple to understand? Welcoming?
Yes, yes.
Correct? I hope it's not too heavy as a life sciences person. So this
No,
is,
no, I'm following
yes,
you.
so great. So no, this is how, as you speak, it works. So this is where we are into SAS environment. The same thing, you can generate the presentations in graphical form also. So if the same data if you work on, and if I use, suppose I use Brock G plot or G chart data equal to, so same data if we want to use it, I use type of my cars and I use sum two. So it's a pie chart which I'm trying to generate. So let's do. So this is how it's simply telling that it's trying to work, but there is nothing to be seen. Okay. So let's use as 3D pie. And let's use bar. Because the type column is from your data set, it may not work maybe. See? Okay. So the same thing. For my report. So the same data will be represented into a pie chart. So I get for every slicing done on every type of pie. All good? Okay. Right. So this is something which I just wanted to give you an introduction to the programming, how simple it is. So even a person who is from a non-IT background can work on it easily. All right. Yes. So next topic is, okay, ma'am, this is all good. I can understand this is simple and all, but how about the jobs? Yes, I just wanted to show you this recent openings on Naukri which I came across. So it says in clinical research as a SAS programmer, one can also work as a junior statistician. Okay, and yes, to start the career into SAS, the basic range starts between 4 lakhs to sky is the limit. But as a fresher, you get the salary between 4 lakhs to 6 lakhs. This is what Naukri is trying to show you. So there's a prerequisite also. This is the current opening in macro care. Any graduate role could be from this industry. All right. Moving ahead, yes, you can also have a career as a SAS trainer. So I just wanted to show you this is another opening. Yes, in ambition box, as I said you, average pay package is nearly between 4 to 5 lakhs. Monthly between 35,000 to 40,000. All good. So you become as a clinical SAS programmer if you're working in a pharmaceutical industry or in a clinical industry. So again, a clinical SAS programming opening into India has an average pay package, which is almost nearly 5 lakhs. Or there are good openings, fine. It's annual. And this is per monthly is the minimum and maximum could vary depending on your work experience and the type of company you're working with. Another opening with Wipro for IT students or IT background people. Okay. Yes. So I just wanted to show you about the job openings into market. Fine. So with the training, what roles you'll be working with? Either you'll be working as a data programmer, developer, data analyst, or data integration developer, architect, SAS analyst, or clinical data analyst. So if you're working into clinical industry, you'll be working as a clinical data industry or analyst. Fine? Yes. So the profile package. So as a fresher, as a beginner, as I said you, I showed you the range in what is the current job portals are telling. So yes, you can earn between 4 to 6 lakhs per annum. And depending on your level of experience, number of years, your pay package keeps on increasing. All good? Happy to see this? A big smile on your
Yes, ma'am.
face?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Siddesh, all
Yes, yes,
good?
yes, yes, all good.
Great. Nice to hear. So this was all about Ultramax and what we offer the training. So this is our further contact details which you can connect to us. Any doubts, any queries till date? Gautami,
No, no, all good.
all good? You
Yeah.
can, if you are comfortable in Hindi or Marathi, you can always speak over, or it's fine.
No, no, that's fine. English
All
is
right,
fine.
great.
Yeah.
So Siddesh, any doubts?
Uh, Doubt as in, ma'am, I have one like a question,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a Gautami only.
Mm-hmm.
She has now experience in microbiology. Okay,
Correct.
if
Mm-hmm.
if she is doing this course, okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it is like how a placement scenario for her, right?
Okay, great. See, we have good amount of students who have already taken the training from who are from life sciences background and who have been placed into the industry and they are doing really good, of course, with the same education background. So most of the time, life sciences people prefer to work into clinical industry. Okay, So with her current, whatever due respect of her experience, she is a domain from a life sciences. So that domain knowledge is going to be useful for her to understand the data. All right. So once she completes, now we do have a course for life sciences called as clinical SAS. But before moving to clinical SAS, which is going to be a domain specific training. So it's not at all a banking domain or a retail domain or a telecom domain. It's a clinical domain. So when we say it's a clinical industry or a clinical domain, most of the time the data which is handled by our analyst is a clinical research data. And truly speaking, clinical research data is all about the research data on a new molecule which has been conducted on human beings and animals to test the new drug which is to be marketed. Before marketing, it has been tested for safety, efficacy, and its performances into human body. Correct. So in that case, the data needs to get approved, analyzed first. Reporting has to be done and taken the approval from the regulatory bodies, and most of the governed regulatory body is US FDA. And as per the law and the certain rules of FDA guidelines, this data needs to be sent by using certain or following certain standards of international norms of presenting the data. Okay, and it has to be submitted electronically to FDA for approval. So when it comes to these rules and guidelines, those are called as CDISC rules, and those rules contain certain standard way of representing the data, and that is what has been trained during clinical trial, and the data which has been used, not clinical trial, I mean the clinical SAS programming. So the data which is used is mostly the lab reports, the side effect reports, adverse events reports, visits of the patients to the sites wherever the trial is conducted. These are the data. So the terms and terminologies which are there into this reports is mostly very well understood by the domain expertise, like the people who are from life sciences background. So that is where the domain knowledge is going to be more useful along with the technical skills. And this is where life sciences people is having advantage to look up their career into IT domain. All good now? Follow?
Yes,
Okay. So
got
I
it.
hope, yeah, I hope Gautami, you are correlating. Now, most of the time you might have worked into laboratories. So you have handled all the laboratory parameters, like you know
Yes.
what is a liver function test, you know what a RFT test, you know what is RA factor, you know what is PT.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what you may have the lab reports, which is going to be there for your analysis in your clinical trial data. So when you're working as a clinical data analyst, this all terminologies is going to be useful for you to understand the data more. So understanding domain is most important rather than technically just working on it.
Okay.
Okay, so that is where domain specification plays an important role along with technical skills. All
Okay.
good?
Yes, all good.
Okay. So I
And
hope, yeah, you have followed and understood what I'm trying to tell you.
yes,
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Any other question?
uh, the course which is starting from that seventh, okay,
Mhm,
on,
mhm.
so you will be the instructor or any different instructor will be there?
Okay. So for this, yes, we as I'm one of the trainer, so I may conduct one of the course part.
Okay,
We do have other trainers also who are also very good expertise into this. So any one of us could be taking care of it.
okay.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, and